Oh no, I forgot. Thankfully, it was sitting right next to me, but I forget that I do that for drag videos, and specifically España, because we haven't been here in a while, but it's okay. Life has been lifing. That's all I'm going to say about that. But welcome to The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. I say something gay. Gay. Thank you, Lana. You haven't been here a lot. It's fine. You'll learn. I am drinking, shocker, everyone, crack tea. But it is a single serve this evening. We are drinking Sunkissed Orange, which is actually a really great flavor, with just some lemonade. So we're caffeinated. We're feeling citrusy. And we're ready to talk about colors, flavors, and regions.
Mm-hmm. Hello, I'm Lana, your resident diva, here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea her. And interesting enough, Logan, you're drinking Sunkissed Orange crack tea, and I'm just drinking pure Sunkissed Orange.
Gag.
Per, because it is that kind of night.
Are we moving into our orange Sunkissed phase?
Let's just say I have the option of going back and forth to my orange and strawberry phase.
Okay, so we're in a Sunkissed era.
I'm in my Sunkissed era. Let's just
Perfect.
say that. So Sunkissed Orange is where it's at tonight because it was the closest to where I was reaching into the refrigerator because my strawberry was in the back. So
great.
There we go.
But if we were drinking out of things other than bottles, it would be out of cup mugs. Mine is in the wash.
Mine actually is right here.
Have you cleaned it yet?
And you get your cup. You know, all the cool kids have one. And you can get it in the description below at lanagcreations.etsy.com. You get all your cup merch and other things because I don't just sell cup merch. I sell other things in my Etsy shop. So,
have you washed your cup mug yet, Lana?
I have washed my cup mug.
Okay, great. I'm just making sure.
I washed it and I brought it back in here today but I had no tea. I didn't want to put anything. Yeah. I didn't want to put my Sunkissed in there because I have a whole bottle. So
fair.
But always keep your cup mug handy, unless it's wash day.
Yeah, and it's been long enough since the last time this person was on to where I can say, "Who are you?"
You can say that. I don't have to say that because
it's been long enough since he's been on the podcast. Anyway,
it's me, David Healy, and this is my first time being on a podcast in a while. I think it's been about a year since I've been on with Logan. It's been 3 months since I've been on with Lana, but I'm happy to be here. And if crack tea is made out of Sunkissed plus water, I've got the other half right here. I am drinking water, so
look how we just
can't go wrong with that.
We are the two halves that make up Lana. Which is bad to say, seeing as how we are both white.
Wait, but we're the two halves that make up you, Logan.
We're the two halves that make up you.
Yeah.
That is true.
I mean, me and David are half and half of each other anyway.
I mean, yeah.
For the uninitiated, I am Lana's husband. So
yes,
that is true.
He is my husband. So
yes. But we're here. It is Drag Race España. We're finally back, thankfully. We're gonna hope that Lana makes it through. Life is lifing. I'm gonna hope that Lana makes it through a full episode this time, even though I did put you in the thumbnail for episode 2. You were there for 4 whole minutes, but you still were on there.
Hey man, life happened.
Life is lifing, but
life happened that day. But yes, hopefully I will be here the entirety of this episode.
And hopefully David will be here more often because I think I've coerced him into coming back more often.
Hopefully, it just depends on the time. I will say this is so bizarre because I'm used to listening to the cup on Spotify at 2. So slow right now.
Yeah.
Today I just bumped it up to 2.5x.
Oh
so
my God.
I'm going very fast.
See, I listen to my podcast at 1.25.
Mm.
So I'm always like, so that's where our Spotify views are coming from. Thanks, David.
Me.
Because I'm always like, who is actually listening to our Spotify episodes? David Healy.
Ta-da.
I
It's
appreciate
me.
it.
Except
So,
for the
yes.
wrestling one. Sorry.
It's all right.
Trust, I don't listen.
Which I have to do tomorrow.
No.
But somebody is listening to our wrestling episodes. Somebody.
There are people that do engage in those, so I'm happy to hear it. But
somebody is doing it.
We're back. It is episode 3 of Drag Race España. It's the ball. Ooh. Too early. Yeah. It was so good, but too early.
We see them earlier in US these days, so
I'm
not complaining with how it turned out.
We had a season, literally season 14 of US Drag Race. The first actual challenge was a ball. 42 looks.
That's a lot.
At least we don't have 42, right?
There's only 33. Not much of a difference, but David, give us your thoughts on the season thus far. Episode 1, episode 2. What are we thinking? How are we feeling about España this season?
I will say, looking at the cast before the season started, I was super excited. I thought this seemed like a stacked cast. Like, I did a draft with a couple of my friends, and it was so hard. I'm like, I want to pick them all. They're all so good. There were only a couple that I just didn't care about, and at least one of those has completely proven me wrong. So we'll get to that.
I know which one that is. Yeah, I do.
You might. Yep. It started off a little rocky, though. I was a little disappointed after the first episode. The talent show just did not compare to last season's. Lana, I don't think she saw last season's talent show, but
I don't think so.
Lana, you may have to go back and watch that one. It was pretty incredible, and it set a new standard for the Drag Race franchise. But this one was...
I believe to this day, it is still the highest rated episode of any Drag Race franchise.
That makes sense, because it was such a killer episode.
I'm really curious, because the last time I checked IMDb, it was 9.7.
Oh, wow.
So I'm actually really curious to see if it is still 9.7.
I guess España has the highs and lows of IMDb ratings.
Boy, do they.
Yes,
God.
Because as disappointing as the talent show was, the next episode was... It didn't even feel like a real episode. The challenge didn't feel like a real episode, like a real challenge. And the win didn't make sense to me. So I was starting to lose hope in this season.
We talked at length about the confusion and the confusion and the fact that they were just like not thrilled about Chanel. I have my theory. I brought it up last episode that I truly believe, because of all the circumstances and because Chanel wasn't there, that they filmed this season in April, because there's really no other way to justify. Because had it been after Eurovision, after Chanel's success.
Yes, you confused me. I thought you were talking about Chanel Anorex.
No, I'm talking about Chanel Chadora, the current #1 song on the ESC 250 from last year, meaning that it is the #1 song voted on by fans.
Okay, wow. I had heard that song, and it's a good one.
Take a video, watch it slow mo. It's wonderful. It was just in a year of wonderful songs. But I'm like, it couldn't have been after Eurovision, because had it been after Eurovision, A, I think Chanel would have been there as the guest judge, and B, I think they would have been much more hype. And I feel like there would have been confessionals being like, oh my God, Chanel, she did so good at Eurovision for us. But it was just very tepid. So I'm like, they filmed this in like March or April for sure. For sure.
Makes sense.
But I was like, a whole Eurovision episode for a franchise of a country that doesn't give a fuck about Eurovision? Great. Because Spain does not care about Eurovision.
So I hear.
Literally, okay, side tangent. When they did the national selection last year and Chanel won, there was so much outrage by Spanish Eurovision fans. Because, and it's funny, when we get to episode 4, I'm going to talk a little bit more about it, because the song that they lip synced to in episode 4 was the Spanish fan favorite from last year's national selection when Chanel won, and everyone was mad about it. It's wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a bad challenge. It was a bad challenge. Clover should have won point blank and the period.
She should have. I think her runway might have prevented that from happening.
Her runway was not bad. Her runway looked better than what Visa presented, and they had the same look. I said it last week. I went on my rant last week.
I didn't love that runway as a whole. I remember Pitita was my favorite of the runway that week.
Pitita and Chanel were my favorites. Because I wanted someone to do Ruth Lorenzo dancing in the rain, and then Chanel's interpretation of it, I was just like, yes. We'll talk more about Chanel. I'm kind of sad. But Lana, since you were only here for 4 minutes of episode 2, did you have any thoughts that you wanted to share before we dive into episode 3?
No. Let's just dive into episode 3.
Great.
That sounds about right. Lowest rated episode on IMDb for Drag Race España. Seasons.
Yeah,
By
I will
far.
also. Yeah, I also looked it up. Season 2, episode 2 is still 9.7 on IMDb, which I believe is still the highest rated Drag Race episode ever. So
good. It should be above the Daytona Wind, which is such an overrated episode. But
anyway, we come back into the workroom. Chuchi is gone, and I'm sad. But I'm very excited to see what Canaria Queen comes on season 4 and gets 6th place. Because now we have to keep the pattern.
Yes, I heard that theory. And I will say, I think, so the draft I was talking about, Chuchi was actually the number 1 pick by someone other than me. But Chuchi has such great makeup on Instagram. If you all have not seen Chuchi's Instagram, go check it out. I think Chuchi would be great on Painted with Raven if they ever decide to go international. Very talented.
Anyway.
You don't like...
I agree with you. I don't like Raven.
That's fair.
But I do agree with you.
It's a good show, though.
Or Face Off. Face Off International.
There we go. Do they still do that?
I don't think so. But anyway, Chuchi's gone. Everyone's sad about it. We move on.
We do.
And everyone's like, who was in the bottom with her? Kelly? That was Kelly, right? No.
No.
Was it Kelly?
It was...
No, Kelly should have been in the bottom, though.
Kelly needed a break.
Who lip synced it?
I
literally have the page up. Vania.
Oh, yeah. I've slept a few times since then.
Same. But so we come back in the next day. Everyone's there. We're talking about and I love España for this because everyone's like, okay, who's horny? Because it's just like they all live in a house together. I'm like, okay, so how many times has everyone fucked at this point?
It's a good looking cast, to be honest.
This cast is so hot.
Yeah, I think it's definitely one of the best looking casts I've seen.
Was it this episode or episode 2 where they declared Clover the trait of the season?
I think that was episode 2. Because I just heard you talk about it on a podcast.
Well, you know what, David? I do a lot of these, and sometimes I don't remember what I talk about.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring up again the fact that Clover is trait of the season.
She's what of the season? What is that?
Oh, so trade, Lana. Welcome to Gay 101, Lana. Trade is a term colloquially used, should mostly be used by queer people of color, but has been adopted by the white twinks, unfortunately. Basically, trade is someone that, like, you want to fuck you, but, like, they're, like, super masculine and, like, could beat you up, but you also, like, are turned on by it.
Yeah, it's kind of morphed into just
attractiveness
in general. Yeah,
But the original thing is more so like the masculine, like the hyper masculine aesthetic for queer men predominantly.
Like I would probably say Pakita is the trade, or Chanel, but they're not conventional. Pakita is beautiful.
I absolutely agree, but if we're going off of
I
the
know.
original,
That's my point, is that
the
going
only one
away
really
from that.
Yeah, going away from that, I Chanel for me. But I think if we're going off of the original definition of the term, I think the only person I could even think of classifying would honestly be Visa.
Yeah, I don't think any of them. In fact, I would say nobody that's ever been on.
You're right. But anyway, no mini challenge. We don't have time for a mini challenge today because it's the ball and we have 33 looks.
Great.
And it is
get on my nerves.
Wait, what?
I said mini challenges actually really get on my nerves. So I kind
some of them are fun, some of them are dumb. But
not a mini challenge.
You need to watch the Cha-Cha Bitch one from season 8. I love that one.
Cha-Cha Bitch. No. But so it is the Great Ball of Regions. So the categories are colores, sabores, y regiones. Colors, flavors, and regions. And the look they have to make is based on a traditional costume from a different region of Spain. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
Drag Race España has done a really good job, at least in my opinion, of showcasing Spanish culture and showcasing like Spain as a country very, very well over its 3 seasons thus far. And I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it's so easy for us as Americans to just think of these small countries as, oh, they've got one specific culture that applies to everybody. But I think España and a few of the other franchises have really done a great job of showing, like, hey, we may be a lot smaller than your country, but we're just as diverse when it comes to cultural expression. So I think it's pretty cool.
I mean, I think that's something that America actually has so many cultures in this country, and like you said, it's very diverse, that we see how the diversity is just like we see the diversity, we see in different regions and when you have a country like Spain, all you see is Spain. Right. So you don't know.
Yeah, they might not have the racial diversity that we have, so you kind of lump them together.
We don't see the cultural diversity because we don't even see the cultural diversity here in America. A lot of people don't want to see the cultural diversity here. We see racial diversity. Like, oh, we have Asian and Black and white and Hispanic. So we like to see that as a divide. But then you have to think about the cultural divisions that we also have, because we have so many other things that's culturally just like culturally beautiful. And so now you have, like you say, in Spain, they have so many different cultures and so many different things that you can, like, all those fashions that we saw are different regions of Spain, and that was beautiful. I think it's great to showcase that, and I think watching these international drag races, which I'm starting to slowly but surely do, is seeing more of the regions of where these shows are, and you can show off the different. Now, I don't know how they show off all their cultural difference in other shows, but in España, they do a really great job.
Not as well as España, honestly.
Yeah. I think the only other one that I think really does a great job is Canada, because they have so many people that are immigrants to Canada.
Yeah.
So they bring their cultures with them and they express it, and I love Canada for that.
I will mention on that note Canada season 3 for that exact reason, because while they had 5 queens out of the cast that were all from Toronto, each one of them represented, like, I think, okay, I'm gonna try to remember. It was Barbados, Cape Verde, Romania, Egypt, India, and Portugal were all represented by the queens from Toronto. So
yeah, it was really cool, and they were all super talented as well. So yeah,
agreed. So I think that it's nice, and it was fun to see as Pink Chadora pick out everybody's look for this, and everybody was so nervous, like, oh, is she going to be strategic? Is she going to, play favorites? But I'm like, she's supposed to be strategic. She's supposed to play favorites. She's supposed to do, give her competition the hardest looks to get. And it was interesting. I didn't see anything like as far as her trying to sabotage anybody.
It was pointed out. I heard this on a different podcast that she actually just went down the line.
Yes.
And gave them in order. There was no strategic, no sabotaging, which sometimes we do see sabotaging in
yes,
this.
We do.
Yeah.
She tried to be as fair as possible.
Yeah. And it definitely seemed like it.
No, I'm kidding.
Honestly.
No drama, boring.
A straightforward episode with a lot of runway looks, so boring. But yeah, I mean, most of the workroom time is them working on their outfits. Anna Locking comes in. Is that where this she does, I believe? I think.
Great.
I thought she did. Yeah, because they changed into their regional outfits. Because Supreme changed. And was in like a waistcoat. And Supreme looked really hot. And I remember that.
Oh.
And I love Anna Locking, so.
Yes, who doesn't? I mean, honestly, she could be the host and I would be just as satisfied.
I would be fine.
Yeah, I don't.
I love Supreme dearly. I would say there are only 2 Drag Race franchises that I think easily could be hosted by the Michelle Visage, and that's España and Italia.
I might add a third one. Philippines.
Oh, please, yes. But which one?
Rotate them. Put all of those beautiful women as a
rotate
host.
Between Karen and Jiggly. Absolutely. Yes. I'm game for that. But yeah, I mean,
all this is really great. But honestly, I feel like we should jump into these looks because
we should.
33 of them. And we're going to be here for 8 years trying to go through.
That is indeed correct. I don't
Lana,
think
keeping us on track.
I appreciate it. I was going to jump to the runway, but I'm glad Lana did. I don't think either one of you have been here for judging a ball yet.
I haven't been here for judging any Drag Race looks.
Okay, I'm just saying, David, because we do balls a little bit differently around here. So we're going to give scores for all 3 looks. However, we're going to judge it as a collection, which means that the first 2 looks, aka the looks that they brought from home, are going to be weighted at 25% each. And the look that they made will be weighted at 50%.
Makes sense.
Of the overall score that they will receive from each one of us. So instead of how we usually do it, where it's at the end, it's like, oh, who was your favorite look? We will statistically know who everyone's favorite look was based on scores.
Okay.
So.
Okay. And I think I should put a disclaimer out here that I don't judge the looks the same as all the other hosts of these beautiful podcasts do. For me, overflowing is basically impossible. And a full cup is Shea Coulee, her look at the ball. So that's the standard. And basically, you're probably never going to hear me give a full cup. So basically 50 is the average for me. So I'm going to be much harsher. Be prepared.
Right, okay, then. I'm excited. So We're going to go in the order that I put them all in, which means the order that Instagram put them all in, which means the order that Drag Race España uploaded them in, which means we're starting with Bestiah. And this is Bestiah. So we're going to do one queen at a time, all three looks.
Okay.
So first up is Bestiah in the colores category.
Yeah, so I definitely see the colors here. I did not see the colors in a lot of their looks.
There are colors.
Right. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good look. I don't know that I like the clashing greens with the dress and the sleeve and then the frill at the bottom. But overall, I think it's a pretty decent look. Should I give my score now or wait?
Let's wait.
Okay, I'll wait.
Great. Lana?
I see the colors. I do see the colors. I agree. I'm not a fan of the two different greens. I would have rather it been the same green. If you're going to do the ruffle at the bottom, make it the same green. Hold on. I have to go full screen for this.
Got to get the details in there.
Right. It's
Here, I'll see if I can make it.
Oh no, it's fine. I just had to go full screen. I don't like the thing across the boobs. I'm not a fan of that. I mean, I get it's the light up, it's the lights, source, and
yeah,
it's the thing for. I'm not a fan though. I think if it was like a different color, like to match either the pinkish or the green,
yeah,
it would have been better for me. Love the hair though. Fan of the hair.
Yeah.
I like the glove too.
The glove is great.
I like the glove. I just don't like the two greens, I think. But the colors, they do go together. They're very well put together, and the Bestiah is cute in the middle. It's okay. It's all right.
So my issue with this is it looks like two different looks that were mashed together. And I get that that's kind of the point of it. I don't think it's all that effective, personally. I love this structured top, the glove, the pink and orange. I really, really like that. I don't like it with this like basic skirt. And then I agree, whatever the frill color is, why isn't that in orange or pink or orange and pink? Like that would have tied it. And why isn't there like green in the hair? Like that would have tied it all together for me and made it a bit more cohesive. I don't find really any cohesion with this, but I do think she still looks good.
Yeah, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt here and say that she has a concept where she's kind of breaking out of a more traditional dress look. So
she's wearing at least one color.
If you look at it that way, it's like just kind of her expression popping out in the top corner area. So I like that as a concept. I don't remember if she explained that or if that's what she was actually going for, but I like Bestiah.
Most definitely probably did. And you know what? It's been 2 weeks since I watched the episode, so I don't remember.
Same.
Scores. David.
Okay, I'm going to go with a 62.
I will go with a 60.
I'm going to give her a 70.
Okay. She has better looks to come. So.
Absolutely. Like this one.
Ooh. That makes me hungry. Just looking at it.
This is one of my favorite things I've seen on the runway of España this season.
Mm-hmm.
I love this look.
It's great. And I, as a licorice fan, that is the perfect look for me. I think she did a great job of making it fashion and fitting the theme very well. I even like her little sucker or whatever she's holding up there.
Oh, the giant lollipop. It's stupid and I love it. I love it.
Yeah, this look is amazing. I didn't get this look on the runway. Like the colors didn't pop as much on the runway to me. But
I will agree with that.
Picture, yes. Like, yes, yes, and yes. The boots, the strap along the side, the licorice thing along the side, the purse, the with the licorice handle, the
It's so
everything about it.
smart.
Right. It's just everything is well placed, even if it's a lot, because that's a lot of layers and a lot of like different pieces, but it works. It looks amazing. Her makeup is fierce. It's just giving the
How
hairs.
she, we'll talk about the third look as well. How she did these makeup
Yeah.
transformations in such little time is incredibly impressive. And I want to give her her flowers in that regard because it's so impressive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Even the little purse is like giving me marshmallow.
It's
Yeah.
literally a marshmallow with a licorice handle.
Like
It's
the
so
marshmallow
smart.
around the neck, and like the marshmallow puff around the
Mhm.
neck and the marshmallow puffs in between with the back. It's just so
Yeah.
well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Everything, the cloth even looks edible to me.
Mhm.
And I can tell you what each distinct flavor is based
Like
on
it
Yep.
looks
the
like
many
cotton
candies I've had.
candy, marshmallows,
Mhm.
licorice, all it just and a fruit roll up around it. Like everything works.
Exactly. Yeah.
Great.
Mm.
Scores.
My mouth is watering. I am gonna
That
give
part.
her I'm gonna give her an 88, which is basically a full cup compared to everybody else's standards. So
Okay.
Oh, for sure, she's getting an overflowing cup for me. This is everything of a perfect. Like I will say, if I had to number it, she would get like a 98 for me, because like almost 100. Like this
So
is.
are we doing a 98 or are we doing 100?
You know what? I'm gonna give it 100.
Great.
she deserves.
She
And also for
deserves.
for context, in the purpose of a ball, overflowing is still just 100.
Yeah, let's give her the
Okay.
100. She deserves.
I'm gonna give her also 100.
She
Actually,
deserves.
Nice.
it's a full cup for Bestiah. And then this is the region look that she made.
Yeah, I wish we had the side by side so we could see what the original inspiration was, because this is quite different from what the original inspiration was. But what I appreciated is that she took distinct features and made it adapt to what her style is. There's other people who tried that and failed, but I think she was very successful with this look. Yeah, it just screams Bestia, but all of those little polka dots kind of tied in her original uh, garment that she was inspired by.
Yeah, I don't remember what region it was. I didn't pull the regions, y'all. I'm sorry
Mm.
about that. I just didn't. I do agree. I love this. It's so Bestia in the Bestia possible way. Yes, I made a pun and it was very successful. I love the hair. I don't get the rose in the hair. I know
I
that was
like it.
part of the original. It just, for me, with the color scheme that she's already going for, I would have loved, and I don't know if they have spray paint in the workroom, but I would have loved had she spray painted that black.
Okay.
That would have just done it for me. I'm not going to dock her on it necessarily. I wish then there was a little bit more red in the look somewhere. But overall, very well constructed.
What I
Yeah,
do like about the red rose is that it almost gives me like a gory feel. Like it looks like a bloody brain,
Sure.
which kind of works
Sure.
with the claws coming out.
Yeah, a
So
little bit.
yeah, I like this look a lot. I wish we could see the whole thing, because the bottom of it was what drew me, like the pants
mhm.
or the.
Yeah.
I
The
thought that
chaps
was, yeah,
situation.
the chap pants situation thingy. I love that. I kind of was like, that's what made me like really love the look. Like I think I was, because I watched it all today. I watched
Mhm.
the episode today, and I was laying down, and I think it was starting to get a little long, and I got a little tired, and I kind of dozed off for a second. When I woke up, I was like, whoa, okay, you're watching. So I had to go back, and I rewound it, and I saw the pants first, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. That's neat. And I looked, and start from the bottom, you start going up, and I looked up, and I'm like, oh, this is a look. This is a look. I
Mhm.
like this look so much. I don't know if I like it more than the candy look, but I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I really like it. It was a good look. And I don't mind the rose because I feel like the rose being there was the nod to the original outfit that was selected. And so instead of making everything about this pink and black, she had to give a little bit of a nod to the original outfit. So I didn't mind that. I didn't mind it. You know, a little red going in there with all that pink and black. It don't hurt nobody. I kind of like it.
Sure. Scores.
Oh, I'll give her an 83.
I will give it. I'm not gonna give it 100. So I'm going to, because I like it a little less. So I'll give it a 95 though.
I'm going to give her a 93. Because I want to.
I think it deserves.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's great. I mean, especially considering the fact that she just made this. Like, the fact that it's so close to being as good as her previous look, like, that says a lot about her talent.
Yep. Absolutely. So next up, we are going to dive into Chanel Anorex. And first up is the Colores runway.
Yeah, I think this was about the time when I realized, oh, I don't fully understand what this theme is. There's not a lot of color here. We got some yellow and gold. From what I understand, is it's supposed to be more about your nation's colors. Even if you're not from Spain, whatever country you represent or region, whatever colors really represent that area. So I'm not going to get too critical about actually having color in it, but I thought this was pretty disappointing. Masks rarely work in Drag Race. I don't think it worked for her. I just know Chanel has potential, so I was expecting a lot from this ball, and this look did not quite deliver for me.
Yeah, I think this is the same moment, David. I was like, I don't know what this thing is about because I was like, I thought the thing was colors. Where's the colors? And I'm like, the gold, sure.
Then this muted vest that kind of takes
like,
away.
Yeah.
Give me more. But now that explain that it makes sense. So okay, sure. I think the idea of the dress is pretty, but I don't think it was pulled off the way she wanted it to. And I think the mask took away from the look. I think the mask was a bit too much. Sometimes you have to edit stuff down. If she would have went without the mask and just had a really, really beat face, maybe. It was just meh.
It wasn't her night, unfortunately. Like, just across the board. And we'll talk about the other two looks. I definitely agree. I think the difficulty here for me is I think it's a good look. I think it's not bad by any means of the imagination. I just wish she had taken that extra 30 seconds to steam the bottom of that skirt.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it is wrinkly, and I do have an issue with that. So, otherwise, I like the aesthetic. I liked the performance of the look. It just wasn't. It didn't all come together.
Right. And I would say, I kind of have different standards. Like, if I went out to my local bar and saw somebody in this look, I'd be like,
this
oh,
would be
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But for the main stage on Drag Race, my expectations are higher, and she did not meet that with this look. I don't.
Well, then what's your score, David?
I'll give her a 40, which is a little bit below average for me. Like I said, 50 is average. That's the bar that you need to meet. And she didn't meet it here, but she's not terrible with this look.
I would give it a 45.
I'm going to give her a 50.
Okay.
Next up, this look.
Yeah, I was very confused when this came out. She's clearly going for a strawberry look. I don't associate.
Is she?
I think so.
Is she? Oh, the worm! I see it now.
Yeah. She has a worm.
I thought that was a snake.
Well, It looks like a worm or a snake going in a strawberry.
It's a worm snake.
But I didn't know that was a thing with strawberries. I knew that was with apples. Do worms go in strawberries?
I guess they might, unless she's an apple.
Oh my
Could be an
god.
apple.
Is she an apple? Is she a strawberry? Is it a worm? Is it a snake? I don't know. My favorite part of this, the face. So good.
Yeah, it's hard to tell here. I think her wig is kind of covering it up, and that's not a great wig. I don't like that wig.
It's a very wiggy type of wig.
It's a shake and go, and she did shake it. So there's
and she went home.
Spoilers. Yeah.
Spoiler.
It's a bit rough, honestly.
Yeah.
I've heard somebody say this is the worst look ever to be on Drag Race España, and I could not say that with confidence.
Poopy poison exists. I'm so sorry. The Macarena's first look from season 2 exists, or season 1 exists. Lana, do you have any other thoughts you would like to
looks
discuss?
Confused. I love you, Chanel. I do.
I adore.
I am going to plead the fifth on this one. I don't, I have nothing to say.
Is that an automatic 0?
That is indeed an automatic 0.
Wow, okay. Yeah. So I will say I've seen worse looks in Drag Race history than this. So it cannot be a 0 for me. But I am going to give this a 21.
I'm going to reverse your 21 and give it a 12.
Okay.
The wig is horrible. The dress is bad. The worm it's so basic. It's ugly. It's gross. I don't like it at all. I'm so sorry.
I am too. Hey, she was my second draft pick.
Oops.
I love Chanel. It's a
great other past season show. She's been great. This one just wasn't it.
Yeah,
it just wasn't it. And
well,
this,
oh
my god!
I will say this is what she made.
Right.
She probably paid somebody to make that previous look. This is better than that, and she made it there in one day. So, props to her for that.
Better. Her wig is way better. Her face, the makeup is great. I'm not a fan of the sleeves, but I understand why the sleeves are there and the little thing around the waist because that was the ode to the original outfit.
Yeah.
Get it, got it. Other than that, what is this?
Yeah, I think my problem with her, and this goes back to what I said with Bestiah, how she took a look and made it look like her. I think that's what Chanel was trying to do, but in doing so, I lost the original look, and I don't see Chanel in this. So it just didn't work either way for me. As a look, it is fine in ways.
Yeah.
But for what the challenge called for, I think it was a fail.
I think it's interesting because I'm now thinking about Chanel's whole body of work that we saw. And I like Chanel a lot. And I think she's funny. And I like her aesthetic. I could not tell you what her drag is, though. Like, that's where I'm landing because we saw a mutant Hulk cow. And then we saw, like, t-shirt dress. And then we saw Ruth Lorenzo creepiness. And then we got these 3 looks. And I'm like, I couldn't tell you what her drag is. Yeah. And she even said in the Untucked little bit, she was like, I just feel like the judges don't get me. And I think it just ultimately comes down to, unfortunately, she didn't get a great draw on runways to truly, I think, show what her drag aesthetic is. Because she did the Spanish version of What You Packin', which is done by Anna Locking. And the looks she had on there were so good. Mm-hmm. And I got it once I saw that. I think she just got really unlucky with what she showed on the show. And this is I think this is fine from a construction standpoint. I don't get it otherwise.
I will say Chanel's another one that is worth following on Instagram. If you
Yes.
look at that, she's got a lot of diverse looks, but there is cohesion to them. And
Yeah.
you do get an idea of what kind of drag artist she is. And it
I
was
would
something
say-
I was excited about.
I would say like Campy Creature is kind of like, that's how I would, now knowing all of that information, but looking only at the show. But anyway,
Yeah, she's almost like an Irene, kind of.
A little bit,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, I would agree with that. But
For scores, I'm going to give this a 38.
Yeah, since I gave her last look a 0, I'm going to be nicer because this look is not as bad as that last look. So I will give it a 45.
Okay.
For construction alone, I'm gonna give her a 50. I think it is an adequate garment made of materials that is on her body. Do I get it? No. But
whatever this fabric is, she made it look like denim. It's like almost like denim, but it's not denim, so it's really cute. So I'm not mad at that fabric.
Yeah.
It's so differently different.
It's differently different.
It looks like she has a little doll dress around her waist.
Right.
A little bit, honestly.
Right. A little baby doll tutu. Like,
yeah.
But
let's move to Hornella Gongora.
This look came down the runway and I gasped.
Yeah.
When she turned the corner, I was like, and it's so okay. First of all, the hat alone it's everything already. But the bottom of this dress is, I'm gonna say it's differently different, but in the best possible way. It would be differently different. Like I like how it moved on the runway. I liked the shape.
That was my absolute favorite part. Is the way that it just swayed back and forth.
Back and forth.
It felt like a metronome to me.
Yes, and
like that's what it.
It felt like it was on a doll dress, like you know how when you wear those plastic baby doll dresses.
Yeah.
It just gave me that, and it fit like the cinched waist of this dress, and how it just went up into the white. I loved it. It looks like a quilt, but a great quilt. Like somebody's grandmother spent their time making this beautiful quilt that you just love having on your bed. And I want to wrap myself in the bottom of that dress. It's beautiful. I loved it. I love this look.
Yeah. I never expected Hornella to really deliver fashion, but she did with this. And I think this is another example of kind of two clashing looks, but this is a bit more cohesive than what Bestiah tried to pull off with her. Like that should be a character in Candyland, even though this isn't even the Flavors runway yet. But yeah,
literally,
I think it's very, very strong for her.
This is, and I think I can say this with the other two looks from this runway in mind. This is my favorite thing she's worn so far.
Okay, yeah,
by far, no question. Like I was so mesmerized by this look because of the swaying back and forth, and I do love that it's so structured and hard and rigid against this like lace bodice and the hat. Like I just thought everything worked so perfectly together in this.
And it's better than I remembered it being. So
yeah.
I
remember just watching it was like, and then when she was walking back into just the back was just as amazing as the front. I enjoyed this look.
Scores?
You know my score for this one. It's 100. I can't give it anything less than that. If anything is going to make me go in the best possible way, it deserves what it deserves.
I'll give this an 85, which is higher than I thought I would give it. But yeah, it looks really good.
It's also full for me.
Okay.
Love that.
And then she walked out in this.
Then we get to this. Oh my
I'm
God.
gonna be honest. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
This is actually, I'll say, if the other one was better than I remember, this is a little bit worse than I remember, but I do remember like thinking some positive things about it. I think we may have another person later on that does something similar better. But yeah, the fabric is interesting. I mean, I don't really know why there are lemons or whatever that is with shrimp.
Well, you put lemon on shrimp.
Okay, I don't eat shrimp, so.
Oh yeah, you put like lemon all over seafood.
Oh, well, I don't put anything over. I put seafood in the trash.
Well, that's your prerogative.
But this look is not in the trash.
No.
It's just not amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. I just noticed that was a shrimp on her head.
Oh, Lana.
Oh, Lana.
I didn't see the shrimp on her head when I watched the show. And I was looking and I'm like, checking out everything.
It's a shrimp wig.
I see.
I will say I also don't like where the dress kind of ends. It's kind of in that no man's land where it's like a little too short and a little too long at the same time.
It didn't need to be a high-low. It didn't need to be a high-low. Like, why are we...
Right.
Okay.
And I want a better shape from her too.
I agree. I feel like it's just it's not hitting where it's supposed to be hitting. And with a fringe dress or a shimmery dress like that, you need to have it hit. So when you move, it just like moves. It's just
I wish it hit a cocktail length and she had ran with that.
Exactly.
And if there had been like cocktail shrimp on the bottom of the
right, like run with the cocktail theme if you're gonna do it. And like
the shoes aren't great.
The shoes aren't great.
The shoes.
The shoe. Thank you, David.
Yes, I got to do it.
Shoes. And like, I mean, I don't like the short length with the tattoo out. Like I really wish it was just a little bit longer. Like you said, just for the cocktail dress effect. And
there's a clam on her.
There is a clam on.
It's too much because you got a clam and a shrimp and then these lemons.
Can we talk about her bare leg though?
She's got nice legs.
She's got great legs.
I think it's too much and too little at the same time. It's too much with the accessories, too little with the garment.
Yeah, it's just it's not hitting. It ain't hitting how it's supposed to be.
What if it had just been a seafood net dress?
All seafood?
No, the net.
Oh.
You know the net that they like catch seafood in?
Right.
If the dress had just been like a
sense.
Yeah.
I think it would have been better. Anyway.
It would have been better because you could have put some shrimp in the net. And
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. It would make more
Scores?
sense.
I'll say I've been nitpicking it. It's not a terrible look. I'll give it a 53.
Oof. No, I'm nitpicking and it's a terrible look. And I'm giving it a 30.
Okay.
30.
I am going to give it a 70. And 60 of those points are based solely on the shrimp wig. So
it's a good wig.
Shrimp wig. Words I never thought I would put together, but shrimp wig. And the final look that she made.
I don't think she know how to sew because what?
I'm pretty sure she said in the episode she did not know how to sew.
it shows because she just tied a bunch of strings together. That's not cute at all.
Yeah, it's all kind of draped around her, tied together in the middle. Did she make those stockings though?
No, I believe undergarments you don't have to make.
Okay. Well, the one thing that I kind of liked about it, I guess, she didn't make it. So, I mean, she doesn't look hideous. It's just a bit basic. Once again, not up to where the standard should be on the show.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
yeah.
I mean, I said this before about other shows, and then I will say this about Drag Race. It's certain things you just should know how to do before you go on these shows.
Mhm.
Like you need to know how to drive a manual if you go on a stick shift if you go on the Amazing Race.
Yeah.
You need to know how to swim if you go on Survivor.
I make fire.
And you need to know how to sew if you go on Drag Race.
Mhm.
Period. I'm sorry. Why are we applying to shows that we don't know how to do the things that are
Yep.
required of us to do on the shows? That's just
There have been some people who've pulled off some pretty good looks with some hot glue.
Creme de la creme.
Yes,
I
that's
mean, if
exactly
you-
who I was thinking of.
if you can
Yep.
work a hot glue gun, then that's your thing. You work that hot glue gun but if you can't even do that,
Yep.
and all you gonna do is tie stuff around your waist and drape it on yourself and call it a day and call it a look, then you come up with
Yeah.
this, and it's like,
And give me
I
shape,
think-
girl.
Yeah, I think the draping that is done looks good. I don't think it looks the arms look messy, but the like red checkered part I don't think looks all that messy. It's not a great look. I love this wig.
The wig
wig
is
is awesome.
nice.
wig
I
is good.
love this wig.
Wig is good.
It's
But
like
face is
Jinx
good.
Monsoon and Manila Luzon combined.
Exactly. Scores.
Yours,
I'm gonna give her a 31.
I'll match the 30. No, I'll go lower. 130. Just 30.
Okay. I'm a bad influence.
I'm going to give her a 40.
Okay.
The 30 is for the
Because-
wig.
40 is for the wig.
The 30 is for the wig. That's it.
Next up, Clover Bish.
Yeah, this was another one. When she came out, I'm like, "Where's the color?" I'm like, "You're wearing all white." But now, knowing that we shouldn't really judge it the way I thought, it's a pretty good look. I don't think Clover's had the best runways yet this season, but this isn't terrible. I like the details with the little stars, and you get some nice contrast with the red flowers. The wig is really cool. It reminds me of something Simone would wear.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's not terrible, but nothing that excites me really.
Yeah, it's a decent look. The wig itself is amazing. I love the wig. But the dress and the outfit it's okay. It's cute. I can see somebody wearing it down the street somewhere. It's cute. It's a cute dress. It's nice. It looks good on her.
Mhm.
So I'm not mad at the look. I'm not like this is gross. I won't be pleading the fifth on this. It's a good look. It's just not as exciting of a look.
It's a little baggy
Yeah.
in parts.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It doesn't fit her all the greatest in the world. But I think I really, really like the wig. I like the overall. I like the way it moved on the runway.
Mhm.
The fit is just the big issue for me personally.
Right.
But
Yeah, her face
Score.
looks great.
The face
Mhm.
looks good.
For scores, I will give her a 67.
I would give her a 70
I'm going to give her a 70 as well.
for the wig. The wig alone is beautiful.
The second look.
I love the concept.
I do.
It's supposed to be honey, right?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
I
The
think it's
concept
honey.
is really cool. I don't know that it was executed perfectly, and it was a little confusing as she walked down the runway. You had to really think about it. Sometimes I just want it to be obvious. I wanted to smack me in the face.
I think the concept is really good. I think the styling is where I have a real issue with this. Because that wig is a wig that she just pulled out of a bag. And the boot makes her look so short. And she is short.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But it makes her look shorter. And I think, honestly, that has to do with the fact that she has not been doing drag for all that long.
Right.
And so I think those are definitely things. And we've seen that with a lot of baby queens that go on Drag Race. Is just like the look may be good and the aesthetic might be there, but the styling and the execution of these looks is not always going to be up to par. And unfortunately, I don't think it was that way for Clover.
Yeah. I honestly wish she had waited a little bit longer to do Drag Race. I mean, not many people can be successful after doing drag for 9 months. So
Valentina was an anomaly.
I know, and we all love her for it. But man, I don't know. For me, this is like I'm gonna judge based off of the concept, how it's applied, and not necessarily off the look itself, which is pretty basic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the look itself is just a white dress.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the concept, like you said, of the honey and
Are those honeycombs on her?
honeycombs on
I
her.
think, or it's like a dessert situation with
It
honey.
looks like a honeycomb type of thing, with the honey on dripping on the arms and across the neck and shoulder. Like I said, the concept is great. It looks interesting. She looks pretty. She looks very pretty. Her makeup is beautiful.
Face always beautiful.
It's just it needs more. And I feel like after doing that last look in that white dress, to come back out in another white dress, it's kind of like.
Well, to be fair, they don't know that these are all going to be placed together. Is the thing.
You don't think they know for the ball?
You can assume, but they may have been given 2 other categories that were very, very similar as well. Fair. So, like, you have to pack 20 to 30 looks when you're going on Drag Race. So you never really know. And for all they knew, it could have been a double premiere runway sort of situation, like on the UK. So I don't always fault it. I understand what you're saying, Lana, for sure. I think it's just unfortunate, again, that it was 2 white looks back to back. I also want to say, I hate saying this right now, but I think it's already become very clear. I don't think Clover's winning this season, based on a lot of factors that I will touch on later and in future episodes. I think she is a prime candidate to come back on a Versus the World. And I pray to God she can speak English, because I think she could come back to a Versus the World season and just absolutely dominate with a little bit more time to get the aesthetic together.
Yeah, I don't want it to be too soon, though. Like, give her a couple of years.
I agree. What are we scoring this look from Clover?
I'm going to give her a 55.
I will match the 55, actually.
Okay. Husband and wife.
I'm going to give her a 45.
Oh.
Simon Cowell.
That's fine. And the look she made, which I like this.
I actually like this.
It was her best look.
I do. I think this was so cute. I think she looked amazing and it fit great. And I know she was nervous about making an outfit. She was saying and the ruffles, she wasn't very sure about all of that. But I think it turned out really good. I like the it's not too much polka dot. You know how sometimes we see a lot with the patterns and it's too much, and it's like, oh, you should have edited it down a little bit.
Drag Maria Adelia in episode 1. Drag her, Lana.
Another one of my draft picks.
Gone but not forgotten, Maria Adelia. Sorry, continue.
Love you. I do love Maria, but I just think that this one, she did it right. It was just enough mix and match of the big polka dots with the little polka dots. And it looked good. And of course, I am very much a fan of Afro Puffs, so her hair was everything. She looks great, face giving. I think this was her best look out of the 3.
I agree.
I do also want to point out, it may be the easiest for us to recognize, like flamenco. That's something that we're kind of familiar with compared to all the other ones. So I do think she had the easiest look as far as recognizability.
Yes,
it looks like it's constructed really well. I don't know how much of that is what the fabric already looked like, though. So
in the movement, because I did rewatch it with them, like walking down the runway, there were a few fit issues which are very conveniently kind of covered by this like arm positioning on the left side. The cutouts were a little bit, it wasn't fitted directly to her body. And so there was like an issue or two in that regard, but overall, I do still think it was a very strong look.
Yep.
For what she presented.
I also think that the puffs of hair are a nice homage to her confessional look, where she's so adorable.
I love her.
Yep. Good colors.
Scores for Clover Bish.
Well, let me give her a 71.
I will give her 75.
Okay.
I'm going to give her a 71 as well.
Hmm.
I think it's just a little bit better than a C. The flat C.
Yep.
So.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Next is Kelly Roller.
Oh my goodness. This is very season 2 of Drag Race proper. So basic. I mean, I'm really disappointed in this. Like, it seems like she heard color and was like, let me do the bare minimum. Let me give I don't know. Kelly, this is rough. Like, the pantyhose looks rough even. The shoes are so basic. The wig is the only decent thing, and that's still not special. Oh my gosh.
I agree. It is the most basic look you could put on a runway and say here.
I have to walk away.
But I feel I feel like Kelly has been very much giving us basic looks this entire season. Like, she's been giving us just the bare minimum of a look and saying, here I am, this is me, but I'm on roller skates from time to time.
I am very thrilled that she is wearing a heel.
I'm happy.
And that is the only part of this look that I enjoy, because I don't even like the heel that she's wearing.
Yeah, it's
but she is wearing a heel.
She is wearing a heel, which is thankfully not skates, but
don't worry. Don't worry.
Oh, don't worry.
We'll get back to the skates very soon.
But like, skates will be there. It's going to come.
They sure will.
But I'm just
this would look better with skates.
It probably
I agree.
It would have been better with skates. At least it would have been something different. This is differently different in a bad way.
Yep.
She doesn't deserve the recognition of being called differently different. This is just bad.
It's just bad. It's just basic.
I think I got my question answered about whether that Chanel look was the worst one ever on Drag Race España.
No,
it's not.
I'm telling you, poopy poison exists.
I try to forget poopy.
Well,
I might have to remember her again soon.
Scores.
Perhaps, David Healy.
Okay.
Scores? I don't want to talk about this anymore.
This is going to be an incredibly, like, this is basically like pleading for me, but this is an unlucky 13.
Ooh.
If I gave that other look a 0, I will be remiss of me not to give this look a 0 because it's giving me nothing. So I will plead the Pomona Fist.
Fun fact, I'm pretty sure Pomara Fifth will actually be at DragCon, and I'm debating on whether I want to go meet her and tell her that we use her name as part of this podcast. I will be giving her a 12 based solely on the fact that she has a reversible coat, and I thought that was kind of cute.
Yeah, that's the one thing.
That's it.
Okay. I'll say we've been doing reversible coats since I was a kid.
Don't worry, she's back on skates.
In this dress.
This looks like a masterpiece compared to what we just saw.
You're not wrong. It's still bad.
It's still bad.
It's still bad, but it looks way better than him.
She looks like a milkmaid in Svadia.
I think that's what she was going for, right? Didn't she pour milk on herself? Or am I making that up?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I think she poured milk on
Maybe I
herself.
fell asleep on her, but I don't remember the milk pouring. But if she's going for
why are you doing... I don't...
It kind of
cool.
gives me Snow White.
Like
It-
off
Yes.
Broadway.
It still is dragged up. Sleeves.
Sure.
She's got a wrinkly skirt that she has to hold on. I don't know.
Oh no, she's not holding it. Her arm is just in front of
Oh,
it.
okay.
I will say the face, fantastic.
I want the wig to be bigger. It's just very flat on top. Like I like the poofy in the back, but it makes her look like she has a small head with how flat it is on top.
Scores.
Okay. You all might think I'm crazy, but I'm going to give it a 35.
Okay.
I won't give it a 0 because it's better than the other one. I'll give it a 5.
Oh my God.
That's
I think I'm gonna match David's 35.
good for you. You are.
I would
so
like everyone
nice.
to. I would like everyone to know now that the average thus far, Lana's current score for Kelly Roller is a 2.5. I would just like to make everybody aware that it's a 2.5.
And I will say this to anybody watching: I don't care if you like my opinion or not. It is what
God.
it is. Because this is getting worse and worse as we go.
I'm just gonna start out by saying, Kelly Roller, I think you are an incredibly talented drag queen. I think you are a lovely human, and I'm very happy you're on the show. I am pleading.
I am not talking about this look. I will not do this.
Look, I guess it comes down to me. Wow, this is
I'll
so.
talk about it and how much I
Okay.
hate it, but
This is one of the most uncohesive. Is that a word? Non-cohesive looks I've ever seen.
chaotic.
It's very
Mhm.
chaotic. Like I don't get why the purple tights with that like 50s red dress and then the weird ruffle like, tulle wrapped around her, and then she kind of is going for an Avril look with the wig and face. It's just
No, sorry. Next.
Kelly. I drafted you.
I think I did too, actually.
I drafted
Glad I
Kelly,
did.
Chanel, and Maria.
I'm glad I didn't do a draft because this is horrible. Absolutely gross. Like everything about this look is bad, from the hair to the dress to the tights to the thing, the boot around the skate. It is like, why is that blue in the middle
A
of that
different blue.
from the purple stop? Like, why? Why? It's already too much with
I
this
wish I
outfit.
could. Yeah, I wish I could remember what the original look looked like that she was taking inspiration from.
It was just a ton of tiers of that red fabric. I don't really know why the purple was incorporated at all.
And then
It
you had the
shouldn't
nerve
have.
to put it on your wrist too, and around the neck, like.
And then you had the nerve to not only take that wig out of the bag it came from, but throw 2 elastics on it and try to pass it off as ponytails. Absolutely not. I'm so sorry, Kelly.
Mm-mm.
So safe to say, Lana, your score is 0. Great.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is the lowest ball score we have ever seen on the cup. So, David.
Can you go back to her first look real quickly?
Yes, of course I can.
I just need to determine if it's better. It's okay. It's worse than this one. It's worse. I'm going to give it a 10.
Great.
Wait, go back to that first one again. Okay, go back. Okay, so the first look was better than this look. Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay, so give the first look a 1, and then give this a 0. Because
I'm just gonna say it right now because I think it's really funny. Lana's cumulative score for Kelly Roller in this ball is a 3 out of a possible 200.
Oh, wow.
Her score is 3.
And I am
Kelly.
not ashamed of that. I'm sorry. Kelly.
Don't be. I think it's so funny.
I don't remember being so disgusted while watching the show. Like I remember thinking she was the worst, but it's so much worse in these pictures.
You know who wasn't too bad overall? The Macarena.
She wasn't. I do remember specifically thinking the way this dress was wrapped around her chest made her look so flat chested. Like I wish there was like some contouring there. But that was my biggest.
She just doesn't do tits,
and that's okay.
fine.
That's okay. But I think this better with something there, you know, because it's going to do. Yeah. The emphasis there is the chest area, so it just kind of leaves a little bit to be desired there. But overall, it's a pretty good look.
I mean, it's a good look. She looks gorgeous.
Very colorful.
Very colorful. I agree with you. Look, the white with the little pops of colors.
Yes.
The little things.
I wish the pops of color were bigger. That's really my only critique with the look.
I wish the pops of color was in the bottom ruffle as well as the top ruffle.
If it was all throughout, not like a polka dot, but more like a splatter paint situation, that would have been really fun.
I think that would have been cute. But I do think if you're going to have a dress to accentuate the chest area, I agree with David. You need to have a little even if you don't want to put, breast,
just put some makeup on.
You could at least do a little contouring,
absolutely,
maybe a little chicken cutlet in there to pop it up. And,
just a
little something, because you have to accent those. That dress is made for boobs.
You know, it's kind of cool that she doesn't feel dysphoric about that. She has come out as trans.
Has she?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that. That's so fabulous.
Well, I heard that on a different podcast, Marta Mama.
We're gonna shout them out. Exposed España with Joseph Shepard and Marta Mama. Go listen. Podcast. They're both wonderful people. Marta Mama is my number one and only source for understanding Drag Race España. So thank you, Marta Mama.
Yes, I wish I got that invitation she gives to Joseph to go to Spain, because I want to go.
Right. Scores. Oh, sorry, Lana. Go ahead.
I thought the dress looks lovely, and the jewelry is amazing. She just looks beautiful. Her wig is great.
The clavicle.
Yes.
The clavicle is clavicling.
It sure is.
The hat is great.
This is one of her best looks.
Yeah,
so
I think this is the best thing she's worn thus far.
I could see that.
I can get that.
I'm going to give this a happy 67.
I will give this a 75. Actually, I think she looks beautiful.
I'm going to give her an 85.
Beautiful. Look at us going up the ladder.
I'm pretty sure I actually have given her a higher score this season, but I do think this is the best look she has worn.
Yep.
This second look.
There are things I really like.
I agree.
It is things I like, but it's a lot I don't.
I think it comes down to the orange.
Yeah.
Because I like the purple bodysuit. It's not fitted well.
I wish it matched her hair.
Yeah.
It's a little too close to her hair without matching it.
Yeah. And I also hate when a queen does a legging and then it stops and you see the top of the foot. Girl, just wear a thigh-high boot with this, and it honestly would have looked a lot better.
Right.
I know you have them. You wore one on episode 1.
You're not able to zoom in, are you?
Not really, no.
Okay. Because I really like that face and that hair.
The face is great.
If you showed me this picture and said, "Who is this?" and said it's somebody from Drag Race España's history, I never would have guessed the Macarena. This is a transformation. I don't know who I would have said.
Well, ain't that many people paint them. So, shut on.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the highest compliment. And
no, that was shade.
Oh, Sharon?
That was shade on Sharon.
Oh, yes. Okay.
If you know, you know.
Well, I don't know. So
the urchin thing is
Go ahead,
kind of cool, but it's kind of an afterthought. behind the bodysuit and the middle part, you just kind of see these little spikes. So I wish
I
that
would
had
have
been
rather
more of
her
the focus.
gone without the middle part. Like, take off
Mhm.
that whole thing and just wear the purple bodysuit with the things on it, because I feel like it just doesn't fit well, and it just makes her look bulky.
Because the point was the urchin, right? Like it's the flavor category. So they like the point is the urchin. I don't look at the urchins immediately. I look at the middle section and I look at the face.
Right.
Right.
So
Yeah, I could do without that, but yeah, let's move on.
Scores?
I'll go with a 56.
I would give it a 50.
I am also going to be giving it a 50.
Okay.
This was so stupid, but so smart. This is the first time where I truly was like, no, I see you, Macarena. I see what you do, and I like it. It's stupid. It's camp. The performance of it. This garment is shit, but she sold the hell out of the garment.
She did. And it was a lot of like the prosthetics. Oh, I'm assuming that's prosthetic. I don't want to pull a Michelle
I
Visage.
think that's makeup.
Oh, okay. Well, she made it look like
If she applied a prosthetic in that time period that she had, that's incredibly impressive. That's impressive regardless of whether it's makeup or a prosthetic. But like, work diva.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I don't have a lot to say about the look itself. Like the look itself is fine, but it really was the delivery.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. The look itself it's a decent look, but it wasn't about the look with her in this. This was more about the performance. So if we're judging strictly off the look, it's a okay look. It's all right.
You can judge it I tend to judge it on the performance as well.
Yeah, might as well.
So, but you are entitled to judge it however the hell you want, Lana, because guess what? You can.
Okay.
So, scores for La Macarena. The Macarena.
I'll be very generous and give her a sensible 74.
I was waiting for you to give something a sensible 74.
I am going to give this, and I'm going to judge it based on her performance, because I feel like that's what made this look, is the performance. I would give it an 80 because she sold. Okay. She sold. And I laughed. The second she walked out, I was like, I'm very much entertained and I'm laughing. And so I like it.
I am also going to give her a sensible 74.
Okay.
So. Pakita.
I'm excited. And I'm excited because of what's to come. But this is a pretty good look. It definitely seemed to show off some more cultural looks than what we would see in America. I saw this. This was the very first look on the runway. I saw green. I'm like, okay, her color is green.
Right.
So I was kind of expecting the same thing from everybody else. But yeah, I think this works well. Pakita's very short, and a lot of her looks disguise that. Like, she looks long in this picture.
Her Azúcar Moreno look last week, she looked so tall the whole time, for me at least. I completely agree with you.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
And that's the kind of experience, because I always tend to look at like Pakita versus Clover because they are a similar height. And because of the experience that Pakita has, you can tell that she knows how to dress her body a little bit better to look taller and look more grandiose. While Clover does that a lot, there are still those like just styling issues that need to be kind of rectified in order to get to that kind of level. And it's all experience. So nothing against Clover. I love Clover. This look from Pakita, gorge.
I can't believe she was a first out on a different season of Drag
Believe
Race.
it. She was not as polished as she
Okay.
is now.
I haven't seen that one, so.
I've only seen a couple episodes of The Switch because I'm going to be honest, Gia Gunn makes it insufferable.
They don't have subtitles on WoW Presents Plus.
I know.
What the heck? But
Lana.
I like this look. I thought she looked gorgeous. I like the cultural references to this look. I like the skirt. I like the shirt. I like the sleeve of the shirt. It fits. It looks great. It's baggy where she wants it to be and cinched and tight where she wants it to be and needs it. It looks good. The headpiece is amazing. I think she just looks gorgeous in this. She looks gorgeous.
There's so many gorgeous diagonals too that also add to this like presence that she gave in this look. I love it.
Yeah, I love it.
Scores?
I'm going to give this a 79.
I will give this an 89, actually.
Okay.
I'm giving it a 99.
Yay.
We're going to keep with the tradition. Why the heck
Why
not?
not?
Okay. We need a second before. Oh my God. Okay. I'm ready. Oh my God. Oh my God.
She ate down. She ate down. This is what Clover was trying to do with her first look, but
Yeah.
she pulled this look off. She looks stunning from head to toe. Stunning, like a big, nice, tall cup of milk with a little sprinkle of cinnamon on top. It's just,
Ooh.
she's
Ooh, all right then, Lana.
She's delicious looking. She's delectable looking. It's everything about this look. It speaks to me. I'm loving it. She looks gorgeous.
Yes. I mean, it took me a second to realize it was an egg on top, but once I did, I was like, with the wig? The wig is the yolk, and it's running.
It's running. It's running. What?
She is just so smart.
And it's so fashionable, too.
So
like,
fashionable.
if you take out the egg part, it still is an amazing look.
If you take the hat off her head and she just wears that wig as a ponytail, it's still gorgeous. It's still gorgeous. You know what? And if she would have put a white glove on that, I would have
I like seeing the skin there because if we had glove on, it would just be her face and then everything else would be covered.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that.
All you need is her face. It's the skin that because if she would have just had a glove on and just her face is the skin oh my God. I would
you can't perfect perfection though.
you can add, oh my God, this is either way it
scores.
Goes. Okay. There's no way. You already know my score. Don't even hesitate to write down my 100 on this.
So, my favorite look ever on Drag Race España is a look Onyx had last season, where she came out on stilts and she was just this giant bug thing. It was incredible. If that was the standard for best look on Drag Race España, this is the standard for the best fashion look. This is the best fashion look I've ever seen on Drag Race España. And for that, I am going to give... Oh, my cup is full. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah!
I didn't expect that.
Oh, but it's so good.
Hundreds across the board here.
Aquaria could do this. Like, Aquaria wishes she thought of this.
Give your 10s across the board for this look.
Not even 10s. Give hundreds. That's what we did.
But 10s, the claps.
I've always wanted to say, my cup runneth over.
Runneth over. And she just like she gets better and better. Like this was her week for me.
It really was.
Wow.
Down. And I know we'll talk about that later. But this was her week, and I felt like this was her week. I felt like this was her week.
I can't believe she made this.
Oh, who does this? She does this.
Pakita.
Pakita does this because this is everything. It looks so good. And it's like, I can see the reference. I know where this reference is coming from. I see it. And it makes it. And the stocking with the burnt leg up the ass. What?
She could have just had a really cool look, but she had to take it over the edge there with those stockings. I love that.
Like what? Pakita.
Oh my gosh. One of the best made looks I've seen in a ball, for sure.
Absolutely.
Not the only person to have one of the best made looks at the ball, though.
But her face. Do y'all see the face?
Mm-hmm.
I have been.
She was my number one draft pick. And she was for a reason.
I would marry her for that face.
Oh wow!
Like, she's gorgeous, and she just looks gorgeous right now.
Yep.
I can't. Yeah, she's gonna be my highest.
Every little detail here.
Ball, I think. Every little detail.
I know. I just keep leaning in and seeing
I
more.
keep looking like, look at the sash across the front and down. Just. Her jewelry, her earrings, everything.
Should I just assume your score, Lana? Yep.
100.
I'm going to give it a very high 93.
I can't give it anything less. It's amazing. Did you give it 100 too?
I did, yeah.
Oh.
Chadora.
Colors.
Okay, wait, because this is my favorite thing Chadora has worn up until this point.
Okay. It's not a bad look.
I really enjoy this look. I think it's so simple. I love that it's all white because I think that that's very difficult to do, A, in drag, and B, difficult to do for a color runway.
Right.
I think it's so bold. This is not what I would have expected to see from Chadora, and I'm incredibly impressed. And I think she is someone also that is continually growing on me as the episodes go along. I'm like, I don't think she should have won episode 2. Let me make that very clear. But I'm seeing more of her. She's diversifying what we're seeing of her. This is the first time that I think we've truly seen fashion from Chadora in a very fashionable way. And I really enjoy it.
She does look like she was not ready for this picture to be taken.
Not in the slightest bit whatsoever. And yet that just adds to it for me.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good look, good shape. I mean, I like the kind of floral arrangement on her head. I think this is a look that could have used softer makeup in the eyes, though.
I agree, but I also do just like the sharpness contrasting with everything else being so like dainty almost.
Okay, so this is my thing. Picture her face is so strong. She has such a strong jawline and just hard face that this look needed her to be more dainty. I think it needed the softer eye and the softer cheek just to complement, because the headpiece is everything. The headpiece is gorgeous. I love that. And if you're going to have that floral, beautiful headpiece, and it's very, flowers are very dainty things. Her face should have matched the daintiness of the flower to match the daintiness of that dress. I think having that hard makeup with her already strong jaw is a little much. But I still think it's a beautiful look. Her headpiece is still beautiful. The headpiece gives more for me than anything. Like, that's what my eye is drawn to. But I just think, but the problem is, looking at the headpiece, you can't help but see the strong face.
It's giving me Dorothy's Bornak goes like something very fashionable.
Yes,
but Dorothy at the Met Gala.
Dorothy at the Met Gala, absolutely.
Yeah.
Scores.
Let me give her a 69.
I would give this a 60. And that's for the headpiece.
I'm going to give it a 90.
Okay.
Wow.
I really enjoy this. I really enjoy this.
Mhm.
And then this.
I don't know what this is, but I don't hate it.
Wine, I believe.
Yeah, I don't hate it either. In fact, I think I like this better than the last look.
I do. I do.
Do as well.
I do. I like
love
the hair
this.
matches the dress
Uh-huh.
so perfectly, so it's like it flows into it, and I don't mind the little covering over the red. I like it. I actually
I
like, and I think
love
the face
this.
fits the
Yeah.
dress. I like it.
It really is something that needs explaining, though, because I don't
Mhm.
think you look at this and you think of like spilt wine. But once you
Oh, I would. I do.
Oh, you think so? Like if you had no context?
It's the color. It's absolutely
Okay.
the color.
Well, I
like
don't
I
drink.
would say, oh, it's wine. I drink a good amount sometimes. No, for me, I instantly would have gone red wine.
Her face looks great too in that wig. The wig
I think
like
she.
looks wet too, even though it's not, I don't think.
I think it would have given me either red wine or like vampire blood wine. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Either way,
either
I'm on
way,
board.
I would have been on board with it. It would have been great
Yeah.
concept either way. So I think this is one
So-
of the best ones.
Mm-hmm.
What I was gonna say about the makeup in the first look is I think she could have done something very buildable from the first to the second, but
Mhm.
obviously she was very smart, and we'll talk about her makeup in the third look. She was very smart with how she went about the ball logistically, knowing I'm going to have minimal time in between these looks. I need a makeup look that's going to work for all three and that is buildable. And that's why I have a bit of a less of an issue with the makeup in the first look.
Okay, well, if the Macarena could make such a transformation, I don't think she has an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
I think she just stuck with what was comfortable for her. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to nitpick that anymore. That was the last look. I do think this is very solid. Man, I think this also works better in a photograph because you can see the movement. You could see the splash here. But when she's walking down a runway, it's like this stagnant splash moving with her. So yeah, I think it works better here. Let me go ahead and give a score, and I will give this an 80.
I can see that. I will give it. I can match that 80.
Okay.
For sure.
Do I hear another 80? No.
Oh no, you absolutely don't. Because my cup is full, and the red wine has
Ooh.
spilt out of the cup.
Okay. What? So it's overflowing?
No, I just spilt some.
Okay.
It was a full cup.
Yeah,
I
you
just
pick
spilled
it up.
some, and it made her garbage.
You tripped because you were drunk.
Absolutely. I'm not currently. I wish I was, though. I should actually do that. And then we get to this.
This was the worst of the worst. I was not.
Why does this look like Kelly Osbourne?
Yes. In her teenage days, like very much.
Kelly Osbourne on the Osbournes.
Right, when she was trying to find herself.
I want a career too, mommy. I'm a singer.
I'm a singer too, mommy. Yeah, this is a bad look.
This isn't great.
Look.
This is something, if I saw this at a drag bar, I would think congratulations on making something, but it's nothing.
I wouldn't pull out my dollars.
Oh, that's rude.
I don't know if I would tip her either.
I'd tip all the queens.
I'd give her maybe $1.
Yeah.
But
I've seen better looks than this in my local bars. So
her performance would have to be amazing for me to pull out the money for this look. Look alone, I'm not pulling out the money for that.
She looks like she's about to do the gothy Kendall roar.
I'm gonna plead.
Oh, really?
I wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna plead.
It's bad. It's bad. No, okay, no, I can't do that. No, I'm gonna give her a 12.
I was gonna give her 10.
I'll be the nice one and give her a 19.
Great. David is making me do so much fucking math today. Normally, I don't have to do
You
as
need
much
Excel.
math.
It's because you
Well,
all always do multiples of 5s or
Yes, and that makes it
96 or
easy for me.
74.
Because I do the
Or 60.
math mid-episode. Literally doing the math right now.
You need a Google Sheet, my friend.
No, it's so much easier for me to do it mid-podcast if I'm doing it by hand.
Okay.
But I do agree with you. I need to digitize more things.
Mm-hmm.
Pitita!
Oh, Pitita. Oh.
Can I just start by saying, going into this episode, I was like, why do I have like a feeling like I want to like Pitita? Like she hasn't given me it yet, but I feel like I want to like her. Well, I love me some Pitita after this episode. Wow.
I always liked Pitita. I thought I said Pitita and Pakita.
That talent show.
I mean,
It was stupid.
But Pitita and Pakita, I felt like they always are like always at the tops of my list of favorites in the week. And I just, but
I think they are my two favorites of the season. Honestly, I think now that we're this far in, I think those are the two I'm rooting for the most.
They showed out, and I am in love with the both of them. But this look right here.
This is so. It's incredible how she transforms. Like this just looks nothing like that petite person we see.
Right in the workroom with the glasses.
I just got it. I just got it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Pitita.
Yes.
I just got it.
But yeah, I think the colors.
Petite.
Right.
Yes. I already knew that.
I just got it.
And look,
anyway.
the Pakita and Pitita, they both were like, we're going to give you a color. And we're going to not let you forget what color we were wearing.
And like from the wig to the dress to the windmills in the back, this dress
is windmill.
And it works. It's a moving windmill. It looks amazing. She showed the freak out in this look right here.
Overflowing.
I mean, my cup is so full. I can't. My cup is full, people. My cup is full.
Mine is actually currently empty. I drank all my cup.
It's full and so full it flowed out and it's all gone.
So good. This is a 94 for me.
This is a straight plunger that I can't. You can't give me the windmill. You can't give me the windmill and not give it 100. You just cannot.
That is, if for people at home, that is currently David's second highest score of the evening.
Yep, it was my favorite first round look.
Yeah,
just gorgeous.
And then fucking squid.
What? The switch up? What? Because wait, she came out in a thing. And she took it off. And then we have this. And I was like, what?
Stripper squid.
I think I was the most excited for her runway and for Pakita runway. Like, I sat up in my bed and was like, whoa. Yeah.
Stripper
squid. Never thought you'd say that.
Yeah. No. And seeing like the seafood here, this, like, I really think Hornella's look paled in comparison to this. Absolutely. And I did penalize her a bit for it because this is just so cool. I mean, sure, somebody could be like, well, that's no drag. She's not wearing makeup. She's just wearing kind of a costume. So what?
Drag is really art cool. And art is subjective.
Exactly.
Right. This is amazing. This is so cool.
It's so stupid and I love it.
It honestly, it reminds me, like, I like to draw, and I remember being in the 5th grade, and for some reason I wanted to draw like the opposite of a mermaid, where it was like a fish upper torso and human legs, and that's basically what we got here. So I don't know. It's really cool.
I love that. She looks so
Yeah.
great. It's so cool.
I'll give this an 88.
I will give this a 90 for sure. It's
It's
so
going to be a 90 for me as well.
Okay.
It's so cool.
And then
like so traditional looking.
Mm-hmm.
So like what girl? Like they tried to give her that ugly outfit and she turned it into something just freaking amazing.
And then she was helping everyone else
Everybody.
and still made this.
It's just like what? And then they had a pocket, and that they didn't know what was a pocket.
Oh yeah.
Until she
My
showed it was a pocket.
favorite part of this whole episode is when we're in judging and stupid fucking asshole Javier Ambrosi goes, well, what's that lining right there? And she goes, it's a pocket. Fuck you, Javier Ambrosi.
Right. I was like, why are you trying to come for her?
Right.
Don't come for her.
I
She's
literally
waiting for you.
tweeted it. I was like, not him trying to come for her, only for her to go, it's a pocket. Fuck you, Javier Ambrosi. And I said that shit.
Like, you will not come from Miss Pitita and thinking she don't know what she doing. She know how to put a look together, and it was a pocket. And then you had to go back and be like, oh, it's a pocket. Shut up.
So, honestly, and I've liked the Javis the first 2 seasons. I'm fine with them getting replaced.
Right.
I'm over them. They could just go.
I've only liked one.
The tall one?
The short-haired one.
Oh, that's the one I hate.
Okay.
Oh, wait, the
other one's kind
short-haired
of
one?
boring. Yeah.
Is that the short one or the tall one?
I don't know. I think it's a taller one.
The one that looks more like a model or the one that's just a hot guy?
The hot guy.
Oh, that's the one I hate.
Okay.
Ambrosi. Fuck him. Anyway.
I haven't said anything yet since you pulled this up, and that's because I do remember it looking a lot better on the main stage. I don't think this picture is doing it quite the justice because I was blown away seeing it. And looking at it now, it still looks very good. But there are some flaws that I'm seeing. So I'm debating on how to judge it because I want to go off of my gut and go off what I saw on the show.
I'm going about what I saw on the show because I was blown away by it on the show.
Mm-hmm.
The hat is everything to me. I was like, what? All of these colors. Like this outfit could have been her colors look.
Yep.
Because there's so many colors, or she just looks so great. It looks very old country,
I was gonna say it feels very intercultural as well because I see Spanish, I see Eastern European, I see maybe a little like Russian babushka.
Yes.
Like there's so many layers to this. It's so overflowing.
Yeah, I think this was one that like really stood out seeing the side by side because you could see every little thing matched up to what the original look looked like, but still with her own spin on it. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 90.
I would give it a 95. Still good.
2 more, and the first of those is Vania.
6 more.
2 more queens.
Right.
Is what I meant to say. That's what I said.
I don't hate this look. Seeing it now.
Yeah.
I like it.
Seeing that.
I didn't really remember this.
I don't. Like when I watched, I don't remember it looking this good on the runway. But this is not a bad look. I actually kind of like it.
Mm-hmm.
This is my favorite thing Vania has worn this season.
I mean, I love the corset snaps.
Headpiece
in the
is
middle.
really
I
cool.
like the roses and the gold headpiece, the red wig, black and white. I like this. Oh,
It's great.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Nice. I like the little slit too.
Yeah.
It's a nice little addition there.
A little bit of leg without showing too much leg.
And it's kind of like nothing is too similar. Like you got the frills out here that kind of remind me of like the Chihuly like glass art. Oh, and then you got kind of the rosy portion in the center, and then it's almost like a dart frog skin at the bottom.
A little bit, yeah, no, totally.
And sometimes those clashing patterns just wouldn't work, but I think it all kind of blends well enough here. I kind of wish there was something that made the corset stand out as well instead of it just being a plain red corset. But yeah, overall, I'm very impressed with this, and yeah, it's much better than I remembered.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, everything, even coming down to the black root with the red in the wig, like that. Every detail was so purposefully thought through. I adore this look.
Yeah. Let me give this an 82.
I am going to give this a 99.
Oh.
I really enjoy it.
Yeah. It's very good. I can't get over that headpiece too. Like that looks really cool.
Yeah.
Huh. Yes, we
will get Lana's score at a future time. So we will move along to Vania's second look. Also,
right now, I'm back.
Oh, just kidding.
I will give this a 90.
Okay.
I think it's beautiful.
Work. Okay, now to our second look, also in red, which is unfortunate.
It's the boots. Is that the stockings for me? Like, not. Why would we have that white stocking?
To be fair, that is kind of the color she paints her face. She is a very pale individual.
She's kind of in the face, giving me Alexis Mateo.
Bam!
I don't like this for flavors. Like I guess she's doing a candy, but like, what's the point if you're just gonna hold the candy wrapper?
Why isn't the dress that pattern?
Right. Yeah. Why isn't it like a cape or something?
Oh, a cape.
Make that a cape and wrap that around you and go.
It feels like a cop out overall. This is what I would like expect like a very, very good pageant queen to be wearing at like a local bar. But
the tip around look.
Yeah, this is a huge disappointment though after seeing her first.
This is the reason she was safe and not in the top.
Well, yeah, I could see that. But I think there were 4 tops and she was never on my radar to be a top.
Well.
Score? Or Lana, if you have more thoughts?
Nope.
I'll give her a 35.
I will give her I'll give her a 40 because I like the wig and the earrings.
Oh, I don't like the wig.
I'm gonna give her a 55 because I like the shape of the garment itself.
You are just trying to give scores that make it easier for you to do math.
No, I gave her a 99 in the first one.
I know, I'm kidding.
I actually kind of like this. It's not the best thing we saw made, and it's definitely not the worst.
I hate to give this critique, but one thing that has stood out with her is I wish she would cinch a little bit more, because she just kind of gives this like straight down kind of figure, and I just want to see a little bit more curves to her because she looks like she could be a very curvy queen. So that stood out to me, is that she's a little baggy in the waist. So I don't know. She kept the red theme, so that was kind of cool, I guess, with the wig.
At least that was going to be the one thing I critiqued. Like, why are we doing all red wigs every time? Like, you got on this purple outfit and you go put on a red wig, girl. Put on a black wig or something else to go. But I do agree, like the cinching of the waist, I feel like it's just too, it doesn't flatter her in the front. That corset with that piece hanging in the front is it's not flattering at all to her figure. And I know she has a really great figure. You can see it. She just needs to show it and cinch it in a little bit and give us the curve, because she has it. She has it. It's just
Even not having that thing wrap around her and go straight down to her waist, like that further like widens her there. Like if it had come like behind her shoulders instead, it might have worked better. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Scores?
I'll give her a 29.
Yeah, I was about to say 25 actually.
40.
Okay. You didn't say anything about the slogan.
There's nothing to be said.
But you gave her 40.
40 is like,
no, I
so
did say,
I don't have
like,
an opinion.
I was like, it's not bad. It's not the best thing, and it's definitely not worst.
Yeah.
That's honestly my critique.
Right.
Like,
And that's fair.
I don't
Fair.
have anything else to say about it.
Fair.
And last up, we have Visa.
Ooh. Poor Visa.
I know.
I wish they had 4 tops this week.
Yeah, this actually looks so much better than it did on the runway to me.
Oh, I really liked it on the runway. This was my second favorite of the first round.
I like this. I like the headpiece.
Yeah, I really like the colors together, the gold and the green. She's going for kind of a corn look here. See how it's kind of like corn stalking going up her legs, and then she's holding some corn.
It's corn.
It's corn. Yeah, like this is what
like
Shangela
corn.
wish she could do.
I like corn.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lana.
I like corn.
It's the juice.
It's corn. A big lump of nuts. It has the juice. Wait, no, he was copyright claiming people. I'm not seeing any more of that. Anyway.
Yeah. My only issue is I don't really like the bra part. Like it just looks kind of like it was kind of slapped on there.
Yeah.
No real shape to it.
So I'm glad that now that we're at episode 3, I can officially say that Visa is the overlooked queen of the season of Drag Race España. Good to know. Yeah, it's great. She looks phenomenal. I agree with the breasticle situation, but otherwise she looks stunning. So
yeah, let me give this an 86.
I'm gonna give it a 90.
Okay.
Make that 2 90s.
It looks good.
Yep.
I have one issue.
And
it's the boot.
The boot. It's the boot.
The boot.
I don't like that it's that iridescent. I don't like that.
Yeah, there is a lot of different things going on here.
This is very differently different.
Yeah.
And I like everything except for the boot.
Enjoy it a lot. Like even like the colors of the little chili peppers, they don't quite match everything else going on color wise, but they still like feel cohesive to me. Like I don't know, it all kind of works for me. Like I really like the hat. I like the little shoulder things. I guess I can see what you're saying about the boots, but I don't mind them.
I mean, I think if she didn't have a cream color boot, like the same color to go with the things on the shoulder and on the hip, the iridescent is okay. It's not taking too much away from it, but I would prefer a cream color boot to go with that because I think it would match perfectly and be better. But other than that, I like this look. I think the hat is amazing. The peppers are cute. I like this look. I really do.
Yeah.
Scores?
Oh, I'll say 77.
I would give it an 80.
80.
Yep.
And look number
Ooh.
33 of 33.
Da-da. Da-da.
Yeah. This was really cool. I thought, like, man, you can even see like the Mexican influences on this here. Like even with the hat on top of the, what do you even call that thing on her head?
I don't know, but there's a sombrero on the hat or
Right.
headpiece.
I would call it a mess.
A mess.
Oh, you don't like the headpiece?
I don't love this look.
Oh, I really like this look.
I want to. Everything is there for me, and yet it's not there for me because I love this giant, like, robe sleeved situation that she's made out of the dress, and I like the panty situation. I like the corseted top, but I don't get the headpiece with it. I hate this shoe with it. I hate this shoe with this outfit.
I don't care about shoes as much.
I do.
Like that's the last thing I care about.
It's the first thing I care about then. No, I'm kidding.
Shoes.
The shoes.
It's just, it doesn't all come together for me, but I like these a lot.
For me, it feels like one of the most like drag looks of any of the made looks. Like everything's extreme here. And I really appreciate that, especially when a lot of people went kind of small. So, yeah, I really enjoy it. The only critique I had watching this walk down the runway is that there were kind of some lumps in the thing on her head. Like, I wish it was a bit smoother. Like, it looks like things were just stuffed in there to give it a shape.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I really like this. And I think I'm going to give it an 85.
I like it, but I don't love it. I think I'm in the middle between David's like for it and your dislike of it, Logan. So I think I will give it a 69.
I mean, that kind of works perfectly because I was going to give it a 55. So you are quite literally in between David and I.
Yeah,
so.
because I don't hate it, but I don't absolutely love it.
Yeah. So
Quick,
that
do some math.
that. I know I'm working on it.
So that being that, okay. We can talk about how, I mean, I think it was just so many looks. It was a lot. It was a lot to
We
take.
spent 2 hours talking about looks.
Right. It was a lot going on with that. But overall, I do think it was a successful ball. I think some people had more success than others, but it wasn't horrible. Some looks were horrible, but overall, it wasn't horrible.
I think you need to see what other balls are like because this was very good for a ball. But yeah, I think the fact that we had a lot of contenders to be in the top is something to celebrate. Because usually we have like a clear top 2 and then a few. I mean, honestly, we did have a clear top 2 on this one as well, but there were still a lot of other like really strong ones that could have won other balls we've seen. So
yeah, I agree.
I was very pleased with how this went. I think we only really had 2 people that were kind of train wrecks, and hey, they got the judging right on those 2.
They did, yeah. So we get a top 3 of Pitita, Pakita, and Bestiah. And our bottom 3 is Kelly, Chanel, and Clover.
Okay.
I think Clover was in the bottom mostly so she could just get a full critique instead of the Javis telling her last week why she didn't win.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I'm glad that they are being fair with Clover. There was a part of me that was worried that they might be kind of patronizing to her and be like, "Oh, let's be extra nice to her because she's a cis woman," and that wouldn't do anybody any justice. So
I
I'm
agree
glad
completely.
I'm glad that they're not just
Yeah.
letting her skate by.
Yeah. They weren't letting Kelly skate by
They
either. So
they let her skate by a little bit.
So we get the winner of the challenge being Pitita.
Yay!
I'll just say across the board, not our winner.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start with actually mine and Lana's rankings because shocker, we have the exact same top 3 and bottom 3.
Oh.
Different scores, but the same top 3, bottom 3. So Lana and I have the exact same top 3 as was shown on the show. But both of us statistically have Pakita winning.
Pakita. I still thought Pakita should have won. I thought Pakita should have beat Pitita.
I gave Pakita a total score of 199.5. Pitita had a 195 for me. For Lana, Pakita had a 194.5. Pitita had a 190. And we both had Bestiah as our third place. I gave her 178 points, and Lana gave her 175 points.
Wow, very close.
We had a different bottom 3 than shown on the show. The bottom 2 was the same, which was Chanel and Kelly. Our low placement collectively was Chadora.
Interesting.
That's very interesting.
Very, actually.
Were
and
all
the
3 of us or just you 2?
Just the 2 of us.
Oh.
David, this is where it gets a little tiny bit interesting here. So your winner was Pakita with 182.5.
Mm-hmm.
Pitita, 181.
Wow. I knew they would be close because
yeah,
I love them both.
Who do you think your third person in the top was?
I mean, for me, it was very close. I remember thinking those were the clear 2, and then I thought it's either going to be Visa or Bestiah. So I'm assuming it's probably Visa.
It is Visa, and okay. Bestiah is your 4th place.
It's probably pretty close between those 2, though.
Yeah, 166.5 for Visa and 158 for Bestiah.
Okay.
So yes. Your bottom 3 is also different. Your bottom 2 is the same, Kelly and Chanel. Your low placement went to Vania.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, like looking back, I think other than our first look, the other 2 looks were pretty disappointing. I think I do remember thinking she should have been in the bottom.
And I will say, your 4th from the bottom was Chadora. Mine and Lana's 4th from the bottom was Vania.
Makes sense.
So everything kind of tracks.
Where was Visa for you all?
Visa for me was not in the top 4.
Okay.
My 4th place, kind of surprisingly, was Macarena. And Lana's 4th was Visa.
Okay. That's right.
Mind you, Macarena for me had 141.5, Visa 140. So it was very, very close.
Very, very
close. Yeah. So that's why I love doing it for the balls, because then it like reveals these I didn't realize that I really didn't like what Chadora did, apparently, even though I loved her first look. The rest of it kind of falls off. But
I like that middle look too. The wine.
I did too.
I'm surprised that those 2 looks weren't enough to.
Oh, it's because I gave her a 12.
Yeah, that last
that last look kind of tanked
was so bad.
I gave her a 12, so that's probably why.
And I really do think those should be the biggest weight.
And that's why we do it the way that we do, because we agree. That's yeah. So we get Kelly and Chanel lip syncing to the Spanish version of Genie in a Bottle by
That brings
Christina Aguilera.
Okay, so I could not watch the caption with that song because
It's so bad.
it was just not what I know.
It was
of
a
the song.
it was a direct
A literal,
translation.
yeah.
Direct translation, and I was like, because I know Genie in a Bottle.
Of course.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know that song. Everything.
Shocked we have not had that on US Drag Race.
Yeah, like
We've only had 2 Christina songs.
Fighter
And
Candyman.
Ain't No Other Man.
Oh, really?
We have not had Ain't No Other Man was Vanjie and Kelly
Vanjie.
Kardashian.
Interesting.
But
yeah,
like,
but
yeah,
I loved her Spanish album when it came out. So like I was always listening to it. I saw her in concert around that time. So I'm a big
Word.
Christina
I
fan.
love Christina Aguilera, and so I was like, oh, Genie in a Bottle, great. So they started playing, and I've started singing, and I'm looking at the caption. I was like, what are they talking about?
I didn't even look at the
What
caption.
she's saying.
That's suspicious.
Right.
That's weird, but not really because it's just a direct translation of Spanish. But
yeah.
Y'all, I'm gonna be real honest here. They both could have gone home and I would have been okay.
Oh, that would have been a double elimination for Team David's draft picks.
I said the same thing. I thought both of them did a horrible job at this lip sync. I was not impressed.
This is also not a good lip sync song at all.
Yeah, it's not the best. I do think Kelly won the lip sync fair and square, but I think Chanel has more to offer in the competition. I wanted to see more from her.
I think give Chanel literally any other song, and I think she would have won.
Yeah,
honestly,
it's hard with those skates though. Like it's such a I don't know, kind of a shtick that works. So she's very impressive on the skates.
It works sometimes. It didn't work all the time because when she did that first runway and she fell off the talent show, and she was falling off the stage.
She should have been in the top.
What, doing the talent show?
Yes.
When she fell off the stage?
Yes, it was very brief and she recovered quickly.
I don't think
other people did super safe things that had no risk of failure, so I respected it.
Okay. I mean, if you're gonna make a big risk, you gotta at least deliver on your risk. She did not deliver. Like all she did was she misread how big and how wide the age was, and she was making too big of a move and was almost falling off the stage at every turn she did. I was like, girl, slow down, take smaller steps, and be cute with your moves. Spin around and don't fall off. Oh, you fell off. Okay. All right. Get back up and go again. It was too sloppy. She was too sloppy in the talent show. Yeah.
But in this lip sync, she did enough to skate on by.
She did.
And we lose Chanel. I'm really upset about it.
Me too. We lost eye candy.
I know.
Good thing we have some more.
There's plenty of it.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's giving similar to how I felt when Ariel Rec was eliminated on season 2. I was like, I want to see more of you. I don't know if you were ready for this, but you're a great drag artist.
Yeah. She was first out, right?
You might see more.
Oh, second.
She went home on the talent show. But we might see more of Chanel. Who knows?
This second chance is opportunity.
What do you think about a second chance on España, David?
I think it's pretty interesting. I mean, it seems like they must be upping the episode count this year if
it has to be
they're
12,
do that.
Right?
I would think so. But they also didn't they do a reunion last year?
I believe so.
Yeah, so I don't know. Could be 13 episodes. Who knows? But I don't. I don't mind because I think this is a pretty good cast. So, but watch.
I think that move in itself is kind of defining España as the premier international franchise, honestly. Like, for a while, it was UK. Canada is up there, but I really do think it's España. And they're here to stay. And we're getting All-Stars as our next season, which I, for one, am thrilled about.
Yep.
They should wait till 5 before they do All-Stars, but okay, work.
They have a lot of people to choose from.
With the caliber of queens that they have, I'm not surprised it's this early, and I'm actually really happy that it is. But that's just because the caliber of queens that they've cast over the last 3 seasons is US level casting, honestly. Right. Like, it's just so good.
It was just a little confusing because we heard that announcement right after season 2. So it's like, wait, All Stars after?
They confirmed 2? They were like, we're filming season 3, and then we're immediately filming All Stars.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited because it seems like we might get España All Stars later this year.
Ooh, that means Lana needs to catch up on the first 2 seasons.
That also means potentially we will have 4 All Stars seasons in 1 year. And on that note, thank you so much for joining us for this episode.
Wait. Because I refuse to just get called out and not call somebody else out. So I'll say this. I'll get caught up on 2 seasons of España if David Healy says he's going to do more of the España episodes with us. Because if I got to get caught up, you need to come on more. How about that?
I mean, we do make a great duo, so.
Just saying.
I love just being here.
You can be our third Will.
I thought I already was.
You are. You are.
Okay.
You are.
I better be.
You're our child.
And on that note,
honestly, yeah.
Remember, mix the water and the sun kiss, and what do you get?
We get you.
And on that note, thank you for joining us for another episode of Drag Race España. Don't worry, because at the time this is out, another episode is probably coming very soon because we're filming 2 of them. So make sure to subscribe, like, you're on YouTube. You know to do the YouTube things. Just do all of them. And tap the dislike button twice. So get your merch, get your life, and cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Goodbye. Bye-bye now. Bye. Goodbye. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Goodbye. If you made it through 2 hours, thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye now.